A human janitor saw everything on the alien station, and no one ever asked him. Kenneth Williams had been cleaning this corridor for 11 years.
You hear things when people don't see you.
The Admiral has too many eyes on her. We move next cycle.
And if someone suspects, if the council gets word,
Who? The janitor. No, the coup will be over before anyone can act.
Coup. He said coup. I don't know the details yet, but I will.
Zul'Karath brushed past the human without a glance. Kenneth kept mopping, his face a mask.
Remember, record, report. After 11 years, the habit never dulled.
On the Concordat Central Command Station, secrets were traded like currency. And the quietest currency of all was the words nobody guarded in front of the cleaning staff. Kenneth mopped near the observation window. 2 officers murmured over a datapad, their voices low and urgent. He heard one say, "Shift change is the window. Security resets, and the Loyalist commanders will be isolated." Outside, the Concordat Central Command Station drifted silently. Its hull held 1,000 secrets, and 1 human janitor moved among them. Admiral Yelara swept by, her uniform crisp. She didn't acknowledge the human janitor.
11 years. I've kept this station clean, and still not one officer has ever asked my name.
He went into his service closet, the door hissing shut. In the darkness, he knelt and found the hidden compartment. Behind a false panel, a small device glowed with a steady red light. The transmitter was still charged, still waiting. He checked its charge. The transmitter was ready, its encryption intact. He hadn't used it in months.
Soon, when I have the full plan, I'll send the burst. Until then, I stay invisible.
Kenneth picked up his mop. The station hummed with routine, but beneath it, a coup was gathering. He was the only one who knew. Kenneth tracked the 2 conspirators through the station's tangled corridors, his mop a quiet alibi. Zul'Karath and Vekor ducked into a storage room. The door hissed shut, but didn't seal completely. He angled his cart and began wiping a wall panel. The voices inside, crisp and unguarded.
Once we override the main security node, the detention level locks down. Yelara's guards will be cut off.
and the emergency bulkheads, if we seal sections 12 through 20, reinforcements can't reach her.
The door scraped open. Zul'Karath stepped out and saw the janitor, still mopping.
Good janitor. Nothing to see here. Just keep the floors clean.
His contempt is my invisibility cloak. They tell me everything because they think I am nothing.
He resumed his slow, rhythmic mopping, his face as unreadable as the deck plates beneath him. In his mind, the coup's blueprint crystallized, times, command codes, the precise sequence of overrides. The station's fate now rested on a janitor's memory. Red alarm lights blazed. Sirens wailed through every deck. The coup had launched hours ahead of schedule.
Someone panicked. Someone talked. Either way, we're out of time.
Kenneth sprinted through the smoke. A bulkhead slammed shut inches behind him. The deck shuddered with distant blasts. He reached his closet and threw himself inside. Fumbling for the hidden compartment, he powered the transmitter. Only static screamed back. The rebels had activated their jammer.
Nothing gets out. No one will hear me. It's just me and this station now.
Attention. This is Security Chief Drox. Martial law is in effect. Comply and you will not be harmed.
They have the broadcast system. They're controlling the story already. I have to move.
He pried open a floor grate and dropped into the service tunnel. The darkness swallowing him whole. Above, the station shook. Kenneth crawled deeper into the dark. Alone with 11 years of secrets, he climbed out of a cramped maintenance hatch into a corridor choked with smoke and debris.
Attention station. Admiral Yelara is in custody. The Loyalist command is broken. All personnel comply with new command authority.
Yelara captured already. They're moving faster than the schedule I heard. They're panicked.
Ahead, a Loyalist soldier lay slumped against a bulkhead, life pooling beneath him. The soldier's hand clamped onto Kenneth's arm and pressed a data chip into his palm, his last breath carrying an access code.
An access code. Probably still good for a few hours. It might get me into the secure net.
Kenneth found a wall terminal, its screen flickering in the chaos. He inserted the chip. The screen blazed with tactical data, Loyalist positions crumbling, red markers consuming the map.
They're being torn apart. If I don't move, there won't be a Loyalist command left to save.
He pocketed the chip and turned away. The station's fate was slipping fast, and he was still alone. He navigated the smoke-choked corridors until he reached the command post's main door. Armed guards stood watch. Kenneth swiped the access chip. The indicator turned green, and the massive door slid open. The guards glanced at his uniform and looked away, their minds already dismissing him. He stepped through into the buzzing command center. Officers rushed past, too preoccupied to notice a janitor. On the main view screen, Zul Karath's face filled the wall. He spoke with icy finality.
Admiral Yelara is a symbol. Execute her within the hour. Show the station that the old order is dead.
1 hour. That's all the time they gave her, and me.
He retreated into a dark corner of the command center, unnoticed by the bustling officers. Security Chief Drox stood near the door, his forearms folded in satisfaction.
They sealed her fate, but they sealed their own the moment they ignored me.
He slipped out of the command center and followed a service route he knew by heart, descending toward the detention level. A single guard stood outside Admiral Yelara's cell. Kenneth paused at a junction box and shorted a circuit. A cascade of sparks erupted further down the corridor. The guard hurried toward it, leaving the cell unmonitored. Kenneth entered the security code. The force field flickered down for a count, and he stepped through.
You are the janitor. What are you doing here?
There's no time. I can get you out, but you have to trust me.
Trust you? I've passed you in these halls for 11 years. Who are you?
Someone who's been listening for a long time. That's all you need to know right now.
She studied him, then gave a sharp nod. They slipped out together, Kenneth's hand on her arm, guiding her into the service tunnels.
She's sharp. She'll watch me. But we have the same enemy right now.
They moved through the dark, cramped tunnels, Kenneth choosing each turn without hesitation.
You know these tunnels better than the station's own engineers.
11 years of cleaning. You learn the service ways.
At a junction, Kenneth pulled a portable communicator from a maintenance panel and handed it to her.
This is Admiral Yelara. The coup led by Zul Karath and Drox. Loyalists rally on me. We take back the station.
Kenneth led her deeper, then opened a concealed hatch, revealing a hidden armory stocked with weapons and armor. Yelara stared at the cache, then at Kenneth. This was more than janitorial foresight.
How do you know all this? Who are you really?
I clean the floors, the walls, the security nodes. People talk. I listen. It's not complicated.
She didn't press further, but her eyes never left him. The janitor had become the most dangerous unknown on her station. He had separated from Yelara to disable a secondary jammer when Zul Karath stepped from the shadows, blocking the narrow passage.
The janitor? You are the one who freed Yelara. I underestimated you.
You underestimated a lot of people, Commander.
I don't know how you did it, but it ends here.
Kenneth studied him and began to speak, his voice flat, reciting dates, access codes, the precise sequence of the coup, as though reading from a script.
The override was scheduled for 0300 station time. You moved early because Chief Drox panicked when a maintenance team noticed the tampered power relay.
How? How could you know that?
I've been cleaning here 11 years. You'd be amazed what I've collected.
Kill him.
Kenneth's hand closed around a concealed device. There was a sharp whine, then every light in the passage died. When they flickered back, he was gone. He found Yalara in a hastily secured control room, a few loyalists at her side. She turned as he entered, her gaze hard.
You just used military-grade tech. A janitor doesn't carry EMP charges. Who are you?
I can't tell you that. You have to trust what I've done, not who I am.
Trust. You are an unknown operative. Give me one reason I shouldn't throw you in a cell.
Because if I wanted you dead, you'd still be in that cell waiting for execution.
Yalara's jaw tightened. She had no counter-argument. Every action he had taken had saved her.
You are human, but you are not just a janitor. Are you with the Terran Confederacy? Some breakaway faction?
I am with no one who wants the station to fall right now. That has to be enough.
Then we take back the station. But after this is over, you owe me the truth.
After. If we're both still alive.
The loyalists pushed forward, but a new scream erupted from every speaker. Zul'Karath's face flickered onto the screens.
You've left me nothing, so I am taking everything. In 5 minutes, the reactor goes critical.
He's locked the reactor controls. We can't get through in time. Even if we breach the door, it's too late.
There's a manual override. In the service trunk beneath the reactor. I can shut it down.
You know this station better than anyone, but that's a death trap. The radiation will spike.
I've cleaned the trunk 11 years. I know the shielding, the cutoff sequences. No one else gets there in time.
Then go. I'll hold the bridge. But Kenneth, if you don't come back, I'll never know.
Kenneth didn't answer. He shed his janitor's jacket and grabbed a shielded breather from a locker, then vanished into the dark. The reactor chamber loomed, a colossal heart of pulsing blue energy. The deck vibrated with barely contained cataclysm.
11 years of mopping floors, and it comes down to a crawl space and a chance.
Kenneth knelt before the manual override panel, his hands steady. The countdown clock on the reactor's core read 3 minutes to catastrophe. He keyed in the shutdown sequence from memory, a cascade of commands he'd learned watching engineers who never noticed him.
Step away from the panel, janitor.
Kenneth didn't turn. The cold barrel of a plasma pistol hovered at the back of his skull.
You won't shoot. You need to know who I am.
Then tell me. Or I'll kill you and let the reactor blow.
I am the person who's been listening to every word you've said for 11 years. Cleaning your floors, your corners. I know about the Tamaris deal, the supplies skimming, the courier you murdered.
Zul'Karath's scream was cut short as Kenneth pivoted, a stun rod crackling into his side. The commander collapsed, twitching, the pistol skittering away. Kenneth looked down at him, then returned to the panel. The final command entered, the reactor's pulse slowing to a steady, safe rhythm.
11 years invisible. And today, I was the only thing between them and the void.
Within hours, the last pockets of resistance fell. Loyalist banners rose again. The coup was crushed. Admiral Yalara's voice echoed across every speaker, steady and clear.
Today we survived because someone who was never meant to be seen chose to act. An unknown asset gave us the truth when we needed it.
High above the crowd, in the shadow of a service gantry, Kenneth Williams leaned on his mop and listened.
I've cleaned this floor 20,000 times. They've never looked up.
Later, in the quiet of a service corridor, Admiral Yalara found him.
We owe you more than I can say, Kenneth. Concordat Security could use someone like you.
Just doing my job, Admiral.
You are not just a janitor. You could be more.
Am I not? Let me keep my mop. Some things are better left unseen.
Days passed. The official investigation combed through the wreckage. Yalara kept her word, but Kenneth felt the weight of unasked questions. He retreated to his closet, the only place no one looked. The hidden device had pulsed 3 times, a message waiting. The screen glowed with a single line. Stay in position. New intel priority.
They want more. Another 2 years. Maybe longer.
His hand rested on the mop. He thought of the cabin he'd bought years ago. The lake, the silence he'd never quite reached.
I could ask for extraction. I've done enough.
But the thought passed. He'd built this life of listening. Leaving now would unravel 11 years of threads.
One more cycle. Then maybe home?
He sent the silent acknowledgement, a single burst that said he'd received and would comply. Then he shut the panel, picked up his mop, and walked back into the corridor, invisible as always. Later, the door of his janitor's closet slid open without warning. Admiral Yalara stepped inside, her presence filling the small space.
You've been receiving transmissions. I know about the device.
I wondered when you'd stop pretending.
Tell me the truth. Kenneth, who do you really work for?
I work for people who want peace, same as you. That's all you need to know.
If you ever harm the Concordat, I will bury you, no matter what you've done for us.
I never have. In 11 years, all I've done is protect this station.
You are still an asset I can't control. That makes you dangerous.
Then watch me, Admiral. I've been invisible for 11 years. I'm good at it.
She stared at him for a long moment, then nodded once, a warning and a truce, and left him in the dark. After she left, Kenneth stepped out. At the end of the corridor, a figure in civilian clothes turned a corner too quickly, too pointedly.
They're following me now. Yalara's insurance, or another faction with suspicions.
He slipped into a service crawlway and emerged 3 decks away, his tail lost in the labyrinth. Alone in his closet, the transmitter pulsed. A new message awaited. Your choice to stay is noted. Continue passive collection. No extraction for 2 more years.
2 more years. I'll be 63 before I see the lake again.
The recycled air grew heavy. He breathed, letting the weight settle.
I knew the cost. The work isn't finished, not yet.
He typed a single acknowledgement, then picked up his mop and stepped into the corridor, invisible again. But the weight of another 2 years pressed down like the hull of the station. 2 more years passed. Kenneth's hair was grayer, his movements a fraction slower, but his mop still traced the same corridors. On his last day, a summons came, a direct call from Admiral Yalara. He walked to her office for the first time in 13 years.
Sit down, Kenneth. I've spent 2 years confirming what I already knew. You are Terran intelligence.
You've known for a while. I never hid it well after the coup.
The patterns were too perfect, but you saved us, so I kept your secret.
She opened a drawer and placed a small medal on the desk, the Concordat's highest honor, still in its box.
I can't accept that. Medals draw questions. I'd rather leave without a trace.
Then I'll thank you here, alone. The Concordat owes you more than silence.
I liked the work. People were honest around me. They didn't know they were talking to a spy.
Yalara watched him go, the janitor, who had listened for 13 years. The door slid shut, and he was once more invisible to the galaxy. But one person had finally seen him. In the quiet of his quarters, Kenneth folded his few belongings. A single bag was all he had from 13 years. A soft chime pulled him to the closet. The hidden device pulsed with a familiar frequency. A tiny screen flickered to life. Agent Li Chen, his handler for all those years, looked at him from Earth.
11 years, Kenneth. You sent everything, fleet positions, political fractures, the coup before it started. Every report shaped our strategy. We avoided conflicts, predicted treaties, rose as a silent power.
Kenneth stared at the screen. the weight of years suddenly visible in his tired eyes.
Was it enough? All those years of cleaning and listening. Did it matter?
We never had to fire a shot. Yes, Kenneth, it was worth more than you'll ever know.
Kenneth exhaled, a sound that might have been relief or release. He closed the panel and tucked the device into his bag. The mission was over. The quiet was finally his. 11 years earlier, in a quiet Terran intelligence office, a younger Kenneth Williams sat across from a handler. On the screen, a schematic of the Concordat Central Command Station rotated slowly. The handler's voice was calm. "They won't see you. That's the whole point. Alien militaries treat service staff like furniture. The most secure room in their space will be transparent to us through you." Kenneth looked at the station image, then back at the handler. He was 47. 13 years was a long time. He asked, "How long?" The handler didn't flinch. "As long as it takes." Kenneth gave a tired smile. He'd been a cleaner for 15 years already. This was just another job, with a hidden purpose. He picked up a mop for the camera that would forge his employment file. The flash of the photo stilled his face into the mask he'd wear for a decade. The memory faded. In his quarters, the old janitor's smile returned, carrying the same weary peace. He had listened. He had recorded. And the galaxy had shifted without anyone knowing. The device was silent now. The mission was done. The quiet was finally his. Kenneth walked the corridor one last time, his janitor's uniform still on his shoulders. Officers passed him without a glance, same as every day for 13 years.
13 years. Not a single one ever asked my name.
He reached the docking bay and handed his credentials to a board attendant, then stepped through the airlock. The civilian transport's airlock sealed behind him. He was no longer station staff. A soft lurch. Through the viewport, the Concordat Central Command Station began to recede into the dark.
I'll never see it again.
A quiet, satisfied smile crossed his face. He turned from the window, found a seat, and let the hum of the cabin replace the noise of the station. Behind him, the station shrank to a speck of light, then vanished. Kenneth Williams, janitor of Concordat, was finally gone. The transport station was a single dusty platform. A short walk led to a cabin by a mountain lake. Quiet and still. He set his bag on the porch and opened the door. The smell of pine and old wood greeted him. He unpacked slowly. The old janitor's uniform he folded and placed in a drawer, not out of sentiment, but habit.
13 years in that uniform. Now I can wear what I want.
He sat on the porch, looking out at the lake. The water was glass, reflecting the mountains. A soft buzz came from his pocket. The device. He pulled it out, its light blinking one last time. "Job, well done. Enjoy the quiet." Chen. Kenneth nodded once, then pressed the power switch. The light died. He slipped the device into the same drawer as the uniform and closed it. Back on the porch, the sun was setting. Kenneth sat alone. The only sound the lapping of water and the wind through the pines. For 13 years, Kenneth Williams cleaned floors and emptied trash on the Concordat Central Command Station. He heard the secrets that shaped the galaxy. Plans, betrayals, the quiet approach of war. He was never asked. He never told. But someone knew. Earth listened to every whisper, and somewhere in the dark between stars, others were still listening. Quiet, patient, unseen. Now, evening faded to night. The stars emerged, sharp and cold. The lake a perfect mirror. Kenneth sat on the porch, his face lifted to the sky, a gentle smile touching his eyes. The camera pulled back. The cabin shrank. The lake a glint of silver in the dark. High above, a satellite drifted through the starfield, silent and sure, its sensors sweeping. A janitor saw everything on the alien station, and no one ever asked him. But the quiet watchers never rest. The universe is full of ears.